Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me Kagam. So today's video is about really crazy shenanigans going on in Paris right now when it pertains to luxury appointments. There's all kinds of like shenanigans and drama, so we're going to chat about that today. However, I have something to admit to you guys. If you are watching this video, it means that I have safely arrived in Johannesburg, South Africa. So at the end of this Paris luxury appointment wars, we are going to chat about my trip in Johannesburg, what I'll be getting up to, and being in Joburg is super exciting. And of course, the trip coming after Johannesburg is Paris. So I thought that this was like a nice video to film. So we'll talk about that at the end. Let's talk about Paris, honey, okay? Because Paris is making people upset. You know where we start off, honey. 31 Rue Cambon, the flagship for Chanel, Big C. We love her. She gets dragged every day, but at the end of the day, this is a Chanel channel. Chanel is actually the #1 ranked brand on this page by views. My Chanel videos actually outperform my Big H videos, believe it or not. All right, so this review is from 2 weeks ago. It's from Google Reviews. It's really long. The person's really upset. I had the worst shopping experience at this location. As soon as customers enter the boutique, they're greeted by an associate with a tablet who tracks a wait list. It's basically a screening tool that evaluates how rich you look to determine how fast you'll get there. The essay at the store, she names her, I'm not going to name her, took notes, not names, of the outfit people are wearing, then assigned them with a sales associate. I was wearing very plain clothes and was told I had to wait an hour. I wanted to buy an item and asked if I could check the availability so I don't need to wait an hour in case it's out of stock. They refused. Big C, girl, what are you doing, girl? So I waited patiently because the store was busy. However, I kept noticing that people who came into the boutique after me were getting served. So an hour later, I asked the same associate with the wait list, how much longer do I need to wait? She said there are 3 customers ahead of me, and then another 20 minutes later, I asked again, and she said there are 4 customers ahead of me. Right then and there, I knew she was lying. It was obvious that she was bumping me off. When I pointed out her error, she immediately retracted her answer, and soon after there was an essay who was extremely unhelpful and arrogant. Turns out the item I wanted wasn't even in stock. I waited all this time for nothing. I've never felt so disrespected and discriminated at a luxury boutique. Needless to say, I will never return to this store and rather spend my money elsewhere that will treat customers with respect and dignity. This review is extreme, but many people on Google Reviews are complaining at the moment about Big C and the Cambon store. Shout out to one of my subscribers, Kitty. She left a comment on my other video saying that she was recently just in Cambon, but she had queued 25, I think, hold on, wait, not queued. I think in Kitty's comment, Kitty said that she waited 25 minutes before the boutique opened and there was no queue. So I think that is like the way to kind of deal with this. You really have to go in the morning if you don't have an appointment. So thank you, Kitty, for letting me know that. That's a great tip that we can like basically now be aware of. Like if you want to avoid queues and you don't have an appointment and you want to have the 31 Rue Cambon experience, you really have to go in the morning, to be completely honest, like before it opens. That's really what you need to do. I know some people say that's not luxurious, that's not Chanel. That's the reality of the luxury appointment wars in Paris. The people who get an appointment at Chanel are the people who are not going to be going through these shenanigans, because as soon as you get there, you know, you're just going to walk in and then you're going to see an essay. Now, let's be very clear. Can you get an appointment at 31 Cambon? Many people have been chatting about this in Facebook groups and forums, how they can't get an appointment. It's really, really, really hard. You have to apply weeks in advance. It's not a guarantee that you'll even get one. And you could easily get mugged off. You know, they just mug you off and be like, no, we're not going to give you an appointment. So let's break down her experience. And you guys are like, yeah, always defending Chanel. No, I'm not always defending Chanel. First of all, the essay judging people by how they look, that's wrong, okay? We've chatted about this before. Some of you don't agree with me, some of you do agree with me. My kind of feeling is like, I think you need to get a feeling for the location. I feel like in Paris, like people just look really nice and very elegant. So I feel like even like on a casual day, I feel like Parisians look really, really nice. Like even their version of casual is still really nice and put together. She said that she was wearing plain clothes. Chanel is a luxury fashion brand. Yeah, I mean, it's not far-fetched to assume that they're going to kind of judge clients on how they're dressed. It's a luxury fashion brand. You know, if I'm going to go buy, you know, hardware or something at a shop or something, I'm not going to wear a ball gown. I'm going to buy hardware, you know. But it's a luxury fashion boutique, and this is the mothership, honey, of that boutique. And Chanel is really a luxury fashion ready-to-wear brand. It's not right to be profiled. Like it's not right to be judged on how you're dressed, and that is a form of profiling. Like you're looking at someone's clothing and saying that that person doesn't have any money, they're broke, whatever. But you're just assuming that. We know many people look really nice and have tons of money. Many people look casual and have tons of money. We know that. So, and that goes without saying. So it's definitely wrong for the essay to, if that portion of the review is true, that is wrong, and that is bang on order. And I am not a supporter of that. I know you're like, oh, you're always defending them. Oh, you're always defending them. No, I'm not defending Chanel here. That is wrong. That portion is wrong. Now, another thing that is wrong that Big C does, and Chanel is in Paris is known for these shenanigans, honey, is this whole thing of not wanting to tell the client if something is in stock or not. Big C, girl, you have no e-commerce brand. You have no e-commerce website for like in terms of like a functioning e-commerce website. It's like a catalog. You go on the website to look at the bags and whatever, and then you take the reference, and then you go and, you know, tell your essay and you go and buy it in store. I totally understand Chanel want to have you guys like come to the store. I get that, but I mean, I don't see the harm in someone just checking on the tablet like, is the thing in stock or not? Because she's wasted her time. After I saw Kitty's comment, which was so helpful, I just realized, like, when I go to Paris, like, I don't mind just I'm an early bird. I'm a morning person. I love getting up early in the morning. I get up really in the morning. I get up really early in the morning. Even if I'm on holiday or if it's like work, I have no problem getting up early and going to the office. So for me, I have to get up early and just go. And just before Cambon opens, I'll be there, because I feel like that is the best thing for me. And I know you're gonna laugh at me because I'm gonna say something kind of annoying. I definitely am a huge Chanel girl. I love Chanel and I love the brand. I definitely would love to have like a beautiful experience at Chanel in terms of like the flagship. I don't care about the staircase, but I would love to have like a great experience and have champagne. So part of me is like, no, I wouldn't want to go in the morning because then you wouldn't get offered drinks, you know, like champagne. But I know some of you don't care about that. I honestly don't care about that, but at Chanel I do. Does anyone else kind of understand what I'm saying? Like, I care about it at Chanel, but I don't care about it at Big H, like if I don't get offered champagne, or at Louis Vuitton. And those are two other brands that I also love. So I'd love to know what you guys think about that. I know it sounds so weird, but I would just love to get offered like champagne at Chanel. But like the sick part of my head is like, okay, but if you go in the morning, you're not going to get offered champagne. I mean, who knows? Might not offer it anyway. Anyway, that's just the weird part of my brain. Just ignore that portion. Okay, and then this part of the review where she talks about how like the essay basically lied to her, like, oh, there are more people, and then she's watching people queue jump her. I would be furious. I'm sorry, but I respect queues. Respect the queue. Okay, there was like some drama at my local bank because they tried to do this like new queuing system, and people, honey, at the local bank revolted. Okay, and I was one of those people, because you, boo-boo, you are not gonna walk up in the bank, okay, and queue jump me. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen, you guys. Okay, so it's just really funny because I can't deal with the whole queue jumping thing either. So then she's like, when I pointed out her error, she immediately retracted her answer and then sent like a really nasty like essay. Was unhelpful and arrogant. The item wasn't even in stock. So yeah, the thing that she even wanted wasn't even there. So I would love to know what you guys think about this one. My kind of reading on this whole situation is this. I think that at the end of the day, like Chanel know that they have so much demand for their products. And I think that so many people are going to come. Like, she's upset at how she was treated. By the way, I just want to be clear, she wasn't treated well. I would be super upset seeing people queue jump me, and that is something which I wouldn't be able to accept. But the most controversial part of her review, which is really hard to tell, is her accusing the essay of writing notes of how people are dressed. Judging by her name, she seems like she is a tourist. So assuming that the essay is writing in French, like, how would she know that the essay was writing what the person wore? Because the essay's, I mean, we're just making an assumption here, but the essay's probably French. So she's probably writing in her native language. If she's writing any notes about clients anyway, she's writing in her native language. That's like writing notes, like saying what someone's wearing. Like, I'm trying to think in French what a skirt is and what trousers are. I mean, how would you know? Okay, so what do we think about this? I think this is a draw. I would love to know like what you guys think about this one, but to me it seems like a draw. So yeah, tell me what you think. Ultimately, the appointment system at Chanel is really stressful in terms of the wait. People end up waiting and waiting for hours. When I go back to Paris this autumn winter, Chanel is going to be more of my focus. Like, my first Parisian trip, I didn't really focus on Chanel, focused on Big H, but this time around, I told you guys in my previous video, I'm not going to film any Big H vlogs, but I will film Big C vlogs. If I buy like ready to wear, bags, whatever, I will film those vlogs. And the one boutique that I really want to go to is obviously, you know, Avenue Montaigne, 31 Cambon. I remember seeing that boutique, the Rue Royale boutique, and that's the one that's like close to Audemars Piguet as well. So I'll go there as well, and definitely Printemps and Galeries Lafayette. I'll go to as many of them as I can so that I can get a feel and report back to you guys like what it's like shopping there, because I feel like I want to kind of just give my opinion because I love the brand as well, and I can't wait to get things from Chanel. I've told you guys before, like, I don't feel comfortable ordering Chanel from abroad. I would feel, at this point, I would feel comfortable ordering Louis Vuitton through a personal shopper, but there's no need because literally it's in Johannesburg, so I don't need to do that. But other brands like Louis Vuitton, Gucci, I don't mind. Even Versace, I'm comfortable, but Chanel, I feel like I need to see the things myself. Not because I want to inspect it, but I just want to make sure that I'm picking out the one for me, if that makes sense. So I will definitely report back across about the different like Chanel stores, but I'm not surprised that this appointment system is making people so upset. There was another Google review. Someone said that he waited for 3 hours, like once entering Cambon, 3 hours. 3 hours just like waiting for 3 hours. Imagine sitting at several FSH waiting for 3 hours for an essay. I mean, I would have a meltdown. You could even you could just melt down. Okay, you know how we always say that you should never ever have a meltdown ever. You could absolutely end up having a meltdown and really get upset. And it's just luxury fashion, honey. It's just luxury handbags. Like, it doesn't really matter, but 3 hours queuing inside 31 Cambon, like, girl, stop. No, that's not for me. So I will definitely be that person queuing up in the morning before the boutique opens. I would still love to have that Chanel champagne experience, but I don't know if I can queue for 3 hours so I can be offered champagne. Maybe if I go to Avenue Montaigne or the Rue Royale boutique, or I think there's also that other one, 19 Cambon, that like Chanel, honey, is absolutely running around Paris. There are tons of boutiques. There's that one as well. I'm trying to remember. There's that one that I walked past when I was coming away from Big H. I think that one's I think it's on Rue Saint Honoré or something like that. There's that one that's like close to Dior. There are tons of them. So I'll go to those ones as well. But I feel like many of us want to have the Cambon experience. You can't have the Cambon experience if you're queuing for 3 hours inside. Okay, are you absolutely mad? There's no way. Yeah, that's completely insane. So what do you guys think about that? Let me know. Okay, the next dragging story about appointments is from Audemars Piguet. Their boutique, as I said, is on the Rue Royale. So that one's actually very close to Chanel. I remember because I walked past all of them there. So you have like Audemars Piguet on the Rue Royale. There's Gucci as well, and there's also Chanel. And I remember that Chanel, it was very memorable because it was that really beautiful trendy CC with the rose gold hardware. Absolutely gorgeous. I think that was a 21B. I think that was a 21B release. I don't remember. Something like that. Okay, so this review, as I said, is from the AP boutique, and by the way, this is like owned by AP, so it's like company owned. This is from 3 days ago. It was originally written in French, but it's been translated by Google Translate. No respect for the customer, multiple calls and making appointments on their site. No one bothered to call us back, very disappointing. I'm learning more about watches. I'm getting into watches. I'd love to have an Audemars Piguet Lady Royal Oak. It's very much my style, with diamonds. So I've been researching into the house, and there's so many shenanigans going on with AP, honey. AP is like literally just big H, but for watches, and big C as well for watches. Literally just so many people. It's got terrible reviews. They say they're very rude. They say that they don't call you back. You like apply online, so similar to Big H, you apply online for an appointment, but it's not a lottery. You apply online, and then if they get back to you, that's fine. One person was saying that like he got an appointment and went to AP to put his name down for like a watch or something, and they had like one watch to try on. One watch to try on. Like, what's the point of even what's the point of even having like the boutique open like that? You have one watch, you know, to try on. Someone here says, very, very, very bad experience at AP Paris. Even being a customer for almost 5 years doesn't enable you to talk to somebody from their service team or visit one of their boutiques. When you do get hold of somebody, they seem arrogant and severely disinterested, and that is after me having spent thousands of euros on their watches. I definitely have had enough of this clown show, and I'm going to be selling my Royal Oak. Other brands still value new and old customers. What AP does is purely embarrassing. This person was there in July, and this review is very indicative of the AP boutique in Paris. So many people are complaining. And many people are like really, really angry and upset. Now, I was chatting to one of you, and I was told that it would be different if they basically know you're a woman. Like, they might be more like warmer and more willing to kind of offer the like appointment to you because they want to have more female clients who are buying watches. I'm definitely one of those people who, I've told you guys before, I don't like the big men's dials. I don't think it looks feminine on me. Like, I do prefer the smaller like lady sizes anyway. So yeah, we'll see, we'll see what happens. But again, I can't make any appointments until I get my visa for France. So once I get my visa, I can figure out what I'm doing. I think I might even just have to call them because there's so many reviews that are so bad. There's no pressure to buy anything the first time. A lot of the times you put your name down, they're not even going to sell it to you anyway because it is a game. You have to buy other like models. But for the women's watches, it's my understanding that the women's watches, if it's there, they'll sell it to you because they want to have more women purchasing their watches. But it still doesn't mean that it's going to be like really easy and you're just going to walk in and get one. I was just shocked by the sort of big H approach, and I'm sure people who know AP would be like, wow, big H is like AP, like putting clients through this stress. Like, people are stressed and angry. You know, this person was saying how he's going to sell his Royal Oak and people don't get back to you, and that is like a huge theme of what people are discussing here when it pertains to AP. So I'd love to know what you guys think. And by the way, would you like to hear more like luxury watch stories? Would you like me to talk more about them? Because I'm really getting into them. I think on my wish list I haven't actually done my 2022 wish list, and I don't think I'm going to do it anyway, but because it's constantly changing. But I think I said it before, so like the Royal Oak Lady watch, I think the one I saw on the website was like 34 millimeters, something like that. Also, of course, Cartier, the Panthère de Cartier, that's one of my holy grail watches. I'm going to mention Big H because I need to have it as bait anyway, but some of their watches do look pretty decent as well. I also really like fashion watches. Gucci got some cute ones too. Next part of luxury appointment wars is of course from your girl, Big H, the Ponytail Express. I saw this story on Passport. I thought it would be worth me reacting to. It's very long, so I'm not going to go through every single piece of the story because I've already read it a few times. I was actually sent it by one of you, so thank you to the person who sent it to me. So it's called Hermès Reveals from My Magical Trip to Paris. It was written by, I think, someone who's part of the Bob Talk team, and it basically talks about her and her daughter. They go to Paris and try and score, and essentially, I don't know. Essentially, she basically just talks about how like she was like there with her daughter, trying to score different bags. She gets a lot of offers. So we're going to chat about it, and I'm just going to tell you like my opinion, because it does tie in with the theme of the video of luxury appointment wars. So yeah, so then she says here, planning for the trip. Planning for this trip began 4 months in advance. If I'm honest, the primary purpose of the trip was to shop. And then she says, to prepare for our trip, I read every Bob article on Paris, you know, appointments, customs, I beg your pardon, VAT, and the best time to visit the City of Lights. I knew that a trip for Fashion Week was a recipe for big H failure, avoid March and late September. Somehow I forgot about Haute Couture Fashion Week in July. This ended up being more of a blessing, but it's still best to avoid Fashion Week, right? And then she talks about like how she talks about how she has this like really huge like fear of failure, like what if she fails, like what if it, you know, doesn't work out for her, and all of these things. And then she says, how could I return as a devoted disciple and writer for Purse Bob, and explain how I spent 8 full days in Paris, visited every store every day, but didn't get an appointment. I was nervous, excited, and petrified. And then she says here, and this is really interesting, okay, because this is actually the crystallizing part of the story. To be clear, I had no connections at FSH, no special accommodation, no one to get me a leather appointment, and I had no prior profile history. She says, I'd never been to the FSH boutique on my prior visits to Paris, so we were on our own. And we were rejected every single day. We applied online for a leather appointment 10 days in a row. Okay, so there's a lot to unpack here. When I first read this story, and like I said, I was sent it by one of you, and after like reading it, many people like have also sent this to me as well. Like after the initial person showed it to me, many people have also sent to me like, hey, have you seen this? Like, what do you think and stuff? I think there are a few things that we need to chat about here, because here she says that she didn't have any connections at FSH. I mean, I think that's like, it's really, because when I first read the story, I was like, oh gosh, I don't know about that, because, you know, you write for Purse Bob, so, you know, you probably do have connections, to be fair, because, you know, we've seen Purse Bob's reveals and scores from Paris. Like, she obviously is a VIP and she's got connections at the brand. So when I saw that, I was like, ooh, you know, ooh, I don't know about that. Do you know what I mean? So I was a little bit like, ooh, I don't know. And then she says, no special accommodations, no prior profile history. She said she'd never been to FSH on her prior visits to Paris. But note what she says. She says she's never been to FSH on her prior visits to Paris. She's not saying she hasn't been to Big Sevres, honey. She hasn't been to Big George Frank, I was about to call it George Frank. To Big George Sank, honey. She's not saying she hasn't been to Sevres or George Sank. She's only saying, I've never been to the FSH boutique on my prior visits to Paris. Very important nugget there. Remember how we always read between the lines of people's Paris stories. So this is what I'm going to do for this video. But if you know me, you know me. You know I keep it Gucci, honey. She says that she didn't have any connections at FSH. If that's what she says, that's cool. But when you read the story and when I break it down, you're going to see that this story is like almost impossible for the type of things that she was offered, for her not to have been connected. So you can make of that what you will. I am the daughter of a diplomat, honey. Okay, so but I think you can read between the lines of me and how I feel about this portion of it. And then she says here, we were both rejected every single day. We applied online for a leather appointment 10 days in a row. Okay, all right, let's move on. Now this is, she talks about a bunch of other things. She goes on a tour of FSH. I think they're like walking through the boutique, and then she says, goal number 1, start a profile at Big H. She says, my first purchase was in the SLG section, just behind the leather appointment desk area. I met a sweet SA. I told her about my pink obsession and a desire for the bun wallet, preferably in Sakura or mauve. She said she hadn't seen a pink one for a long time. And then she like finds her a bun. Yeah, then she gets her a bun wallet. And then they're like still doing more shopping. They're doing a bunch of other things. And then she says, we didn't attempt to ask for a leather appointment on that first visit. We were thrilled with our purchases. We explored the area. She shows a picture of purchases. So they buy trainers, they buy sandals, and they buy boots. Okay. Then she gets like her first appointment. Don't forget that she has already said that she tried for 10 days in a row using the lottery and wasn't successful. Okay. On our second day in Paris, we had an appointment. Hold on, wait. She talks about how she meets like a jewelry essay, and then she meets this like jewelry essay, and then she buys some fine jewelry. She posts a picture of the jewelry, and then after buying the fine jewelry, she goes to the leather hostess desk to request an appointment. She says, quote, "Bonjour. I was wondering if there were any cancellations today. I've been applying online for 2 weeks with no luck. I would be so grateful if I could get an appointment." The young essay looked at her phone and said, "Yes, we do have cancellations." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. And then she like puts her into the system, and then she gets the text confirmation. Then they meet the essay, and then the essay offers them drinks, whatever. And then she explained to her, "I was a pink freak and only wanted a Kelly 25 or a mini Kelly in Rose Sakura or Mauve Sylvester or any other pastel color. In addition, a mini Kelly in pink, Nata Cray or black." She said, "We have no mini Kellys." Then she asked what else I was hoping for. I understood this to mean a non-quota bag, so I requested a mini Constance and Mauve Sylvester Evelyn. By the way, the Constance is a quota bag in France. I think I've said this many times, but just to interrupt here, because I know many of you are in the US and it's not a quota bag in America. It's a quota bag in France and it's a quota bag in almost every single other country. So just want to be clear. Here she says to a non-quota bag, it's not true. Like the Constance is a quota bag, maybe just not in America. I'm always defending the Constance, honey, and her wig. Okay. Our essay left, returning shortly with 2 boxes. She instructed us to go on a staircase. They didn't go into the VIP rooms. I think she said the staircase has the VIP rooms. They're on this staircase and they get the offer essentially like on the staircase. She's offered a Nata Kelly 25 in the Retourne style. I think that one is for her daughter. And then she's offered the mini Constance in Sakura. And then she's like, "I was so overcome with happiness that I hugged my essay." She handed me the mini Constance. It has, I think, palladium hardware. And I said, yes, yes, yes. Okay, so these are the first 2 offers. So let's kind of take stock of those offers. So a Nata Kelly in Retourne, and then a mini Constance. Okay, so a few things. First of all, when I first read this, I was really struck by how like she asked for the mini Kelly and she's told there are no mini Kellys. I think that the mini, and I've said it before, like I really just think that the mini Kelly at this point is a spend situation. She did buy the burn wallet, she bought shoes, trainers and stuff, and she bought 2 fine jewelry pieces. The fine jewelry pieces, she put pictures. I know exactly how much they are because I'm always on Big H's fine jewelry site. They're very they're really nice fine jewelry pieces, but they're definitely like the more like affordable fine jewelry pieces. It's not like the diamond CDC bracelet. They have this one thugged out diamond CDC bracelet that's like 17,000 euros. It's not that one. And then she goes away. Okay. And then so she has these fine jewelry pieces, which definitely help the profile. But I feel like the mini Kelly, like to me, mini Kelly just says, like you really do need to have like significant spend on your profile, in my opinion, to get the mini Kelly. And I think it needs to be like fine jewelry bait and watch bait, that kind of thing. If you're interested in like what bait I think you should get from Big H, let me know, because I'm always on the Big H site looking for bait for like my future trip. Okay, so then let's move on. So then she says, "I asked for a Kelly 25 Cellier." Hold on, wait. After getting the offer for the Kelly 25 Retourne, and the mini Constance, she then asks for another Kelly. A Kelly 25 Cellier. She goes away for a second time and returns with a Kelly 25 Cellier in Celeste. In blue, I think this is in Celeste with gold hardware. It was stunning and bright and a pop of color, and it was a 25, but it was not pink. I declined this offer with a simple no thank you. Our essay then goes back for a third time and comes back with 4 boxes. This time, she comes back with 3 mini Evelyns. However, was only permitted to purchase 2 of these 3 bags at the appointment, and she shows pictures. One of them is in the color fur, by the way. And hold on, wait. I think I said that the Nata Kelly was for her daughter, but then she offers her daughter a Kelly 25 in Noir in the Return, in the Palladium hardware, and then her daughter loves it, and her daughter takes it. That's great. And then she gets a Constant Slim wallet in Mauve Sylvester as well, after she asks her, because she says, oh, I have a Constant Slim on hold for me in the color Blue Limb, but I don't love the color because it's not pink. And then the essay goes to get a Constant Slim wallet. Okay. Then, so now let's just take stock. So Anata Kelly, in the Return, I beg your pardon, and then a black Kelly Cellier, okay. Is this the set? No, in Return. A Kelly 25 in black as well. And the mini Constance in Mauve. And the Kelly in Nata in the Return style. So 2 Return Kelly 25s and the mini Constance, okay? And a Constance Slim wallet. And then the essay, then she talks about the impressions that the essay had of them. So it's like a really long paragraph, so I'll just summarize. She then goes on here to say, our essay said it was my smile that won her over. I honestly didn't realize I was smiling. But considering this store is like my happiest place on earth, I'm not surprised. She said she liked that I wanted a pink bag, not a neutral, like many people. And okay, then she goes on. So this was their second day at FSH. Don't forget that she told the leather appointment essay at the beginning that she'd been trying for 2 weeks, but this was the second day. She talks about other things then. So after getting those offers, I think they go again and, you know, they're like exploring Paris and they see a bunch of other things. Now, there's a really juicy tidbit here. She goes again the next day after getting all of these offers, okay? And then she says here at the end, I stopped at the leather hostess desk while shopping that day and requested an appointment, but I was refused twice, okay? I think at this point she's trying to get an appointment for her daughter. We then decided to explore Paris again and visit the Big H Sèvres boutique and try our luck at the location. She talks about Sèvres, which is my personal favorite Big H location. It's just my preference. I really, really like that boutique and I enjoyed my experience there in January. She says, the Sèvres store is amazing. We shopped and tried to get an appointment and enjoyed the different ambiance, her words, at this location. We were not successful at buying or getting a walk-in appointment, but we loved the experience. This is really interesting. I want to kind of chat about this because I think when I first read this, and I read it like the second time as well, the impression that I get at Sèvres is like, I feel like Sèvres has this like more like beatnik, offbeat, kind of edgy vibe. I feel like Sèvres is as edgy as Big H gets. You know, it was like a former swimming pool. They've got, I call them wooden globes. And I remember when I was there with Edwin, he was like, what are these wooden things? Like each métier is under these like wooden installations where each métier is. It's definitely a little bit more relaxed. Like the boutique itself is in, I think that it's like also in a residential area. People have flats in the area. You know, it has a little bit more of a edgy like it has a bit more of an edgy vibe to it. I feel like FSH is like a flagship, you get me, because it is Big H's flagship, but Sèvres feels a little bit more like beatnik, a little bit more edgy. And I think, in my opinion, and my reading of this paragraph, is that she says here that they were not successful at buying or getting a walk-in appointment, but they loved it. My impression was that they saw all of those purchases of the Kellys, the 2 Return Kellys, the mini Constance, okay, and the Constance Slim wallet, and they just declined on that premise. This isn't the first time I've heard of the several like leather people like looking at your history, and if they see you've been offered a quota bag, they're not going to offer you a quota bag. And to me, I feel like that feels fair to me. You know, she'd already gotten some fantastic scores at FSH. Now she's trying to go to Severin to get more scores. I think, you know, you had a great selection and you did well. And I have to say, when I read this story, I respected Severin more. And I respect that. I respect that. And that's the feeling I got. If you read between the lines, we shopped there, we tried to get an appointment, we were not successful at buying any quota bags or getting a walk-in appointment, so they were obviously declined. Okay, so then they're talking about their trip, and then she gets another leather appointment at FSH, and then this time she gets an appointment. This one is like more of a, I think it was like more of like a walk-in, and then she talks about, you know, lunch, and she's like, you know, doing other things and stuff. And then, so this is her second appointment at FSH. Don't forget, she already had one, okay? A lovely essay asked me what I'm looking for. I said pink, pink, pink. I love pink too, by the way, as you know. I was hoping for a pink Kelly 25 setting or Sylvester. She said that she saw one that morning, but it was sold to another client. So she went to bring options. She brings a Kelly 25 Cellier in Cray with palladium hardware. It was stunning and perfect, but it's not pink, so she declined it. And then, yeah, okay, and then she says, since there was no pink Kelly or pink Birkin Cellier available, I asked our SA to bring back the Celeste Kelly 25 Cellier that she showed us at the first appointment. This is the same SA, by the way. This time the bag had palladium hardware, which I preferred. Nevertheless, I refused the bag for the second time because it wasn't pink and I knew I wouldn't be happy with it. Then she brings the faux mini Evelyn I requested at our first appointment. It was a great pop of color in the classic Big H orange, so I took it. And then she goes on here to say, we again asked for the mini Kelly. She asked again for the MK. And then the essay says they're none available. I then asked for a Kelly Pochette in pink. She only had black in Swift available, gold hardware. I said yes, since the Pochette is harder to get than the MK. So she also gets a mini, she said she also gets the mini, so basically she gets those bags and she gets the Kelly Pochette. I was going to call it the mini Kelly, and technically the Kelly Pochette is the mini Kelly. It's the mini Kelly 1 and the mini Kelly is the mini Kelly 2. Confused yet? I know, it's confusing. So she gets the Kelly Pochette. This is interesting here. She says, the essay then tells them that it's not a quota bag. I was told that the Kelly Pochette is a quota bag in France. When I go to Paris this time around, and by God's grace, if I'm successful, I will find out definitively, and I will ask a Big H essay if the Kelly Pochette is a quota bag, but I'm going to ask it in French, because remember how I told you in French it's called sac iconique. That is like what a quota bag is in French. So I will confirm that. But she said I was unable to purchase the Pochette and another quota bag such as the Cray Kelly because there was limited availability and low inventory of all quota bags. In the past, I could have purchased the Kelly Pochette and the Cray Kelly 25, but not today. The essay then disappears and comes back with a Kelly to go and the Constance to go and a wallet in Mauve Sylvester. And she comes back with that. Okay, fine. And then I think she says, she talks about how like it's really ironic because she like loves pink bags, but then she gets all these other colored bags as well. To recap, during our second and final leather appointment, we purchased the black Kelly Pochette, the fur mini Evelyn, and the Mauve Sylvester wallet with silk lining. We're ecstatic about our amazing experiences at FSH and excited to use all of our purchases. And then, hold on, wait. And then she says here that there's a surprise, but then you have to wait and read part 2. And then she has like tips and stuff. So I want to kind of just chat about like what I think of this story. In my opinion, if I had come to you and I had told you that this was like my experience, I think we would all agree that I knew someone at the house. I think that experiences like this are incredibly rare, if not basically zero, unless the person is connected to the brand. And this is for any house, not just Big H, but like Big LV, Big C, is connected at the house, or the person, perhaps maybe from their home store. I didn't mention it, but I think previously here in the article, she talks about how she hadn't gotten an offer from her local boutique. So I don't think she's like a VIP in her home store. And she said that she didn't get any special treatment. But my understanding of Paris, based on my experiences, but based also on so many of you, I've chatted to so many of you who have had phenomenal experiences. Some of you have been offered like 4 bags in one appointment. Some of you have been offered 1. I've chatted to many of you who've had offers like this. This happens when you have a profile. So what do I think of this story? So to stay in theme with the video, which is about luxury appointments and the luxury appointment wars of Paris, I want to kind of just give my thoughts. So yeah, it's a super interesting story. It's my understanding that a haul like this is very, very rare. I think it almost never happens, particularly if everything is the way it seems like in the article, if she didn't have connections or anything like that, which is what she said. If it is like that, it's very, very rare. So don't look at the story and think, okay, that's going to happen for me. I'm going to get 2 Ritual Kellys. I'm going to get a Kelly Pichet. I'm going to get a mini Constance. I mean, that's extremely rare. I think that this haul would be more like for VIPs, and I think she alluded to the fact that she isn't a VIP. She didn't have connections, and that's what she said. So I think to keep things Gucci, we will go by what is said in the post, and we will assume that everything is above board. Okay. So I just thought it was super interesting, like a few things. I think first of all, she was rejected every single day while she was there. She was there for 2 weeks. Second of all, she like tells the leather essay that, oh, I've been trying for 2 weeks, but she hadn't. She would try for a day. Because on the second day, that's when she gets the walk-in after she tells the leather essay, I've been trying for 2 weeks. That's a little bit shaky, but okay. And then she's offered Retourne Kellys, which I thought was super interesting. She's never offered a Cellier Kelly. She asked for a Mini Kelly a lot, and she's never offered. I'm thinking, like, is it possible that the Mini Kelly specifically, and maybe Cellier Kellys maybe don't get given to clients who come as walk-ins, because she kept asking for the Mini Kelly, and she never did get it, even though she got Retournes, which is still very beautiful. I'm a Cellier kind of girl, like I just prefer the Cellier style, but I mean a Retourne Kelly is still gorgeous. She never gets a Bacanov either. And she never, as I said, never gets the Mini Kelly, but she still gets, 2 Retourne Kellys and the Kelly Pichet, which to me is probably the most impressive out of this whole thing. Even on the purse forum, I haven't heard of someone being offered a Kelly Pichet via the lottery or a walk-in the longest period of time. I haven't seen a Kelly Pichet unboxing from Paris in the longest period of time either. I haven't, it's very, very, very rare. To hear of the Kelly Pichet being offered in Paris. It's just such a rare thing, so that was also super interesting. And then she gets also the Evelyns as well, and the Mini Constance, which is another beauty in this haul. So I think that the best way to kind of understand this is like a few things. Also, when you read the post, I think you'll see she is a mature lady. I do think that mature clients have I think it's not necessarily that it's easier, but I feel like Big H is less inclined to say no to mature clients. My mum is, a woman of a certain age, and my mum definitely, I think, if she was to go into Big H in the Parisian stores, I'm pretty sure that she would like get a walk-in. I just feel like it might be a little bit easier if you're like a mature client. I feel like it's just a little bit easier. So I'd love to know what you guys think about that as well. But definitely, I think that this was super interesting considering that it was Haute Couture week. So the key thing to understand here is that she never was successful via the lottery. And the second key thing to understand here is that she had a lot of other baked bits and bobs that she had purchased, because she had bought shoes, trainers, boots, that Burn SLG wallet that she purchased as well. And she also purchased 2 pieces of fine jewelry as well. But I think she was also very much an advocate for herself. And I think I referred to that in my previous video. I think you need to kind of be your own essay in some ways. And you need to kind of advocate for yourself in a way that is friendly, warm, polite, but you still need to be quite assertive as well. And I have actually seen this in other people's unboxings, like people are being polite, but assertive and really kind of going after their offers without being entitled. I think you have to do it in a way that doesn't come across entitled. When you read her story, she doesn't come across entitled. She comes across excited, she comes across energized, she comes across vibrant, like she's super excited to be there. So I'd love to know what you guys kind of think about this whole story. It's my understanding that this would like never happen unless you're connected. So who knows? Maybe she is connected. That seems likely to me in some shape or form. So who knows? But to me, it reads as someone who is connected. I'd love to know what you guys think though. Drop me a comment below, and of course, go join the group. Okay, now. Let me quickly tell you about Paris because I'm literally about to travel. I'm going to catch a plane in literally like like 2 hours. But my dedication to this channel, and by the way, I don't mean that the plane is leaving. I mean I need to be in the airport in 2 hours. So yeah, heading to Johannesburg. Drop comments below. Do you want to see Johannesburg vlogs? Do you want to see, because you know me, I'm weird about vlogs. I don't want to call them vlogs, I'm calling them vibes with the Z. I'm weird about vlogs because I don't watch other people's vlogs. Like I don't watch people's personal vlogs, people walking around in their car, pouring tea into mugs. I don't watch things like that myself. Because I personally don't find it interesting, so I don't want to be a hypocrite and then film my own vlogs for you guys, but I think I'm going to end up being a bit of a hypocrite, so I hope you're not like annoyed with that. So we'll have a Johannesburg vlog if you're interested, and then I'll have luxury shopping vlogs because of course Louis Vuitton, Gucci, all of the brands are there, Versace, Cartier, Ferragamo. There are a bunch of luxury houses that are there. So hopefully I will visit at least a few of them. I'm in such a great mood. I don't know what I'm gonna see. So I'm super excited. I don't wanna say I'm buying this, I'm buying that, because I don't know what I'm going to see. I don't know what's in Louis Vuitton. I don't know what's in Cartier. I don't know what's in Gucci. I don't know, and I kind of love that I don't know. If this was Paris, I'd be like, oh, I'm getting this because I know what's there. This is so exciting. I haven't been there in many years. The last time we were in Johannesburg was like, I think 2020, just before C19 like took over. So it's so exciting to be going back. I'm so grateful to God that I'm going. The trip kept getting postponed because my husband and I were just so busy working, running our companies. He has his own company. He's so busy doing that. I have my own company. I'm so busy running that as well. And I think just being able to do 2 videos a week and run my business, like that's a lot of work as it is. So we were just so busy, so it was just kept getting rescheduled. But by the time you watch this, I will be in Johannesburg. I am super excited. I hope that you guys will really enjoy the content that's coming, because my husband is going to be in my videos. It's going to be fun. I was like, are you going to be filmed in my videos? He's like, I'm going to be in your video. So I'm excited about that. So we'll have like a Johannesburg vlog. I think I'll do like a weekly vlog because we're there for a few days. But hopefully it won't be tea being poured into mugs, okay? Because that's like my thing about people's vlogs. Like, don't like be like, I hate when people do something like this, like vlog, and then they say luxury unboxing, but the unboxing is at the end and it's them pouring tea into mugs for like 20 minutes. Anyway, there will be luxury shopping vlogs. There will be a Johannesburg like weekly vlog of what we're getting up to. Hopefully that will be fun and vibrant. My husband has agreed to be filmed. What a blessing. The last time he was filmed was ages ago. I don't remember the last time he was in my video, so I'm excited about that. Very, very, very excited. Apparently it's really cold in Johannesburg as well. And yeah, really, really, really excited. Can't wait. So yeah, thank you so much to everyone who supported this channel. You know, this is a hobby for me. It's not my job, it's not my career, but I just love what we've created here, not just me, but with you guys. please go and follow my socials. I think you'll actually really like my TikTok if you want to see more about Johannesburg and South Africa, because I'll be filming a lot of like short form TikToks about Johannesburg and South Africa on there. I'm a history person, so I definitely think that we'll go to the Apartheid Museum if we have time. We'll try and go there as well. So please go follow my Instagram, go follow my TikTok. If you want to see my personal Johannesburg updates, you can go follow my personal Instagram, but the luxury stuff will be on my luxury Instagram, my TikTok, and of course the Facebook page, and the Facebook group. If you're a member of the group, the moment I get there, I'll be posting. As soon as I get to a luxury store, I think when we get there on Saturday, we're just gonna chill because we're there for a few days, so it's not like we're in a rush. So I think we'll just chill because it's like a nighttime flight or an early morning flight, and then once I get to Louis Vuitton and Gucci and all the rest of it, I will definitely be posting pictures and letting you know what stock I see. And if you are African and you want to know more about the luxury scene in South Africa, please drop me a comment. If you're too shy to say hello because you don't want your comment to be public, send me a DM so I know that my comment, so that I know that my content, I beg your pardon, is helping. I can hear my cat there. And some of you might be like, what's going to happen to your cat? My housekeeper's coming every day just to make sure that she's Gucci. And yeah, so yeah, everything's going great. Thank you so much for watching. Drop me tons of comments. Go follow all of my socials. God bless, and I'll see you, in Johannesburg in my next videos.